Hello students, welcome to my channel. In our previous video, we were discuss about chapter number 16, Economic Liberalization and Globalization of Social Science subject standard 10. Today, we will go ahead in our lesson on page number 128. We would like to discuss about the concept privatization, and we also would like to discuss about the concept globalization along with their meaning, advantages and disadvantages. So let's start without any disturbance. Now the term privatization we have to discuss. Privatization means the process in which ownership of management of industrial units under the state control is handed over or transferred to the private sector is called privatization. Now the definition says that first of all, privatization is process. Privatization is the process. What happened in this process? The ownership and management of industrial unit under state control is handed over to or transferred to private sector. Means, if you look at this carefully, the ownership of industries, okay, which is right now, according to definition, right now, ownership and management of industrial unit under state control. Okay, so we have a ownership oblique management of industries in the hand of state government. Now what happened? This ownership and management, okay, will handed over or transfer, okay, to whom? To private sector. Means what? Those industries whose management or ownership is with state government, that industries management or ownership will handed over or transferred to private sector. So now that particular industry is not considered as government sector, or we can say public sector, but now it considered as private sector. So let's re-discuss the definition again. Privatization means the process in which ownership and management of industrial unit under state control is handed over, transferred to the private sector. Means now ownership and management, or either ownership or management, is in the hand of private sector from state government. Okay, clear? So I think so definition is important, so please understand properly. Now the methods. Now what is the method? See, the firstly those areas which are reserved for public sector, means those industries which are reserved for public sector, which is only for government, nobody else can enter, are open for private sector. For example, right now it is going on that one industry we learn somewhere, that is, say, what is mentioned? Railway. Now we learn in the definition of liberalization and the understanding of liberalization that railway is reserved for government. So like those areas which are reserved for public sector, for government, public sector means government, they are open for private sector. Means what? Railway, which is right now only for whom? Only for public sector. Clear? Now railway is also available for private sector. So you will able to get the train of government also and private company also, like Reliance and Tata and Adani and all those. They will start their train in the competition of Indian Railway. That is called privatization. Second, state keeps the ownership of the state-owned companies under its control and give the charge of management to the private company. Here we take a pause. See, I put a dot over here. What they say? The state-owned company is under its control and give the charge of management to private company. Means what? Suppose there is one industry. Okay, now these industries ownership is with state. Now state means what? Government. I hope you understand. But that industries management will be given to whom? To private sector. Okay, so we can say the ownership. State keep the ownership. Means ownership is in the hand of state government. Okay, one company. Industry means company. Okay, so we can say one company is there whose ownership is with state government or central government or government sector, but that government give the charge of management to private sector. Means ownership, okay, industry, or we can say company, ownership is with state government but management done by private sector. That is one method. Or second, or see the dot, state keeps management in its own hand and give the ownership to private company. Means what? You can say, for example, company, but now it become opposite. Ownership is in the hand of private sector and management is go with state. State means we are talking about government. Opposite. In this what happened? Company's ownership is with state, management given to private sector. Here what happened? Ownership is given to private sector but management is with state. If it happens, then what happened? It is called privatization. Okay, so let's revise. First, what is mentioned? Those industries which are reserved for public sector, open for private sector. Or second, 2.1, the ownership available with state, management given to private sector. Or management is with state and ownership given to private sector. Second point is, I again repeat, second point in the short form you can able to remember like this. Second point, first part says what? Industry or company, ownership given to state, management given to private sector. Or ownership is given to private sector and management is given to state. So these are the methods available as far as privatization concerned. Why I explain with paperwork? Because I hope you understand that this particular way you can remember in a short form. Fine. Next we go ahead. Now we will discuss about the advantages of privatization. Let's go for understand advantages. Okay, fine. Now let's talk about the advantages of privatization. Now you can see the first advantage, that privatization, the advantage is there is an increased number of production unit in the industrial sector. It says that production increase because private company can work with more efficiency because private company focus on profit. So in that case it is mentioned that increase, okay, it clearly mentioned over here that increase in number of production unit in industrial sector. That means here indicate that more number of units will be produced. Second, production has been increased in capital intensive and consumable commodities due to privatization. Now consumable commodities means which commodities? Consumable commodities means those commodities which can be used, consumed very fast. Like we can say soap, toothpaste, they all are consumable commodities. Now in this kind of product, the capital intensive means investment, capital investment will increase. Okay, because of privatization, more and more company will invest their money in the production of consumable commodities. So what happened? The production has been increased. The production has been increased in capital intensive. Those industries which are producing consumable commodities, for that industries, private sector will go for more investment. Capital intensive means more investment. And they try the level best to increase as much as possible because these consumable items purchase very fast. Okay, you need to purchase toothpaste after every month, consumable item. Hair oil for example, biscuits for example, these all are consumable items. So their production increased. Third, working capacity of public sector has improved due to privatization of the public sector enterprise. See what happened? If you convert one public sector government company into private sector, then all other public sector company become very wise. They start working very hard because they believe that they will also, their industry also or their company also become private. So what happened? Working capacity of public sector has improved. And due to privatization of public sector enterprise, for example, if you do privatization of Indian Railway, then automatically BSNL government companies, they improve their efficiency, they improve their working capacity because BSNL will believe that the way how railway become private, may be possible, we BSNL also become private. So better we work hard. We don't want to work under private company, okay? Because private company can say to us that work 12 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, depends. Overtime, depends. So by seeing privatization of one company, other public sector company can also start working and increase their efficiency. These are the advantages. Now we focus on disadvantages. Now the disadvantages says, the first point is economic power has centralized as a result of privatization. See what happened? As a part of privatization, the power is centralized. Only private company control the economy. The power goes to private company who focus on profit. So economic power is as centralized as a result of privatization. And because of which, the evil of monopoly has increased. Only private company has monopoly. We learned monopoly means what in our previous lecture. Those who don't know, they can see the previous video. Here private company get the monopoly means what? Private company is the only available in some area, and whatever price they say, everybody has to pay. That is called monopoly. Lack of competition is considered as monopoly, and that type of things will increase. Suppose I realize that in Bhavnagar I am the only one who can provide bus facility, then I can start charging huge amount. Private company, you can't argue. If you want to travel, then travel. Otherwise, bye, see you. So monopoly increase. I'm just underlining so that you can remember properly. Power is centralized and evil of monopoly increase. Okay. Second disadvantage, cottage industry had not developed properly due to privatization. Small scale industry, small unit, small scale industry, where machinery use less, people work more. Cottage industry, small scale industries development will not possible because private company will try their level best to capture the market. Because of Reliance Mall, for example, number of shop has to change their business strategy. So we can say cottage industry have not developed because cottage industry try to sell the products, but privatization, private company not allow them to sell the products because private company will sell the products at very low price so that cottage industry cannot survive. And only large industry have been benefited. Only large industry will get benefited. Large company will get the benefit. Third drawback, prices have not remained under control because private company can go for any prices. So prices have not remained under control due to privatization. And this has led to problem of price rise because prices are not remain under control and problem of price rise will arise because I am holding private company. Now I will not do like government for government company don't want profit. Government want to provide facility to people. But here what happened? Private company asks for profit. So to earn more profit, they increase the price. And that's create the problem of price rise. So this is the disadvantages of privatization. Now, the third and final concept we have to learn, that is called globalization. Now first we understand the definition of globalization. Here the first concept we talk, that is liberalization. Second concept what we learn, that is privatization. Now the third one we have to go, that is globalization. So let's start it. First we go for definition. Now globalization is the process of connecting one country economy with the world economy. I repeat the definition. The definition of globalization says that globalization is the process. Globalization is like privatization word is the process available in both the situation. In privatization also we learn it is a process same way. Globalization is the process of connecting one country's economy with the world economy. Now see, we'll go for some paperwork. The word globalization says what? One country's economy you have to connect with global economy. Means we would like to connect our country's economy with global economy. Means we will establish business relation with the global companies, with the different countries. That's called globalization. It's a process where you connect our country's economy, means our country's industries, production, labor, technology. Our country's economy means what? Our country's labor, technology, capital, okay, everything. You will connect with the world economy. Means you will share, you will transfer, you will modify, you will import, you will export, you will do everything. With whom? With the world economy. And as a result of which, flow of goods, service, technology and labor is easily available in the world. So here it says that what? Because of globalization, what happened? The flow of goods will be transferred from our country to other countries. Services will be provided from our country to other country, and we can take also, we can give also, we can take also. Technology and labor will be transferred from our country to other country. And technology and service can be come to our country from other country. Everything is possible. So goods, service, technology, labor. Okay, please remember this. Goods, service, technology, labor. How to remember this? Memory code. How to remember this? Labor, GST means what? Labor, goods, service, technology. I repeat, memory code. Labor, goods, service, technology. This labor, goods, service, technology, okay, that will be exchange. Exchange means what? Transfer from either from our country to other countries' companies, or opposite, from other countries' companies to our country. That is called globalization. Now we will talk about some of the important, some of the improvement that have taken place due to globalization. So we will discuss that. The first is obstacles of trade between two nations have been removed. If you exchange with each other, obstacle, difficulty, problems of trade between two countries will be removed. If India transfer goods to America and America transfer service to us, then the problem between two countries, that is removed. Such condition has been created so that the capital exchange, money exchange can be easily take place between two nations. Transfer of money from one country to other country can be possible. By staying in India, I can pay in dollar to American company, and by staying in America, American company can pay in Indian currency. So such condition has created the capital exchange easy. Okay, capital exchange easy. Obstacle, okay, removed. Obstacle of trade removed. Okay. Third, obstacle in the way of exchange of technology have been removed. Means technology can be exchanged. Obstacle means difficulty to exchange the technology, that is removed. Easily you are able to transfer technology of one country to other country. Like India purchased Rafale fighter planes, technology exchange. So the obstacle, the problems between exchange the technology, that is removed. Next, free exchange of labor. Free exchange of labor. Labor can be transferred from one country to other country among different nations in the world. Among different nations. Indian labor can get a job in America. Labor of Sri Lanka and Bangladesh can get a job in India. Free exchange of labor. Anybody can go to get a job in any country because of globalization. Now the effects of globalization. Mixed effect of globalization have been there on Indian economy. There is a mixed effect of globalization. Advantages also, disadvantages also. First we talk about advantages. See, foreign direct investment, FDI, please underline, important full form can be asked in section A, objective type of question. Foreign direct investment is encouraged due to globalization. Means the people of other country will invest in our country. That is encouraged by globalization. Like recently Apple announced that Apple will start assembling factory in India. Samsung will start their factory in India. Foreign direct investment available in our country. Foreign country will invest money in our country. That is the benefit. Foreign company start economy. Foreign country start company. Foreign company will provide job. That is called a globalization benefit. Second, goods produced in the developed countries can easily obtain due to globalization. See, we learned somewhere that our country is developing country. So because of globalization, because India is a developing country, because of globalization, India will get the product from developed country. So those goods which are produced in developed country like Japan, America, we can easily able to get in our country because of globalization. So you will get variety of products. Third, developing countries like India can withstand competition at international level due to globalization. See, when globalization done, foreign countries companies start business in our country. So our country's company will participate with competition. So because of that, there is an improvement. Suppose we have one Indian company in the industry of say for example stapler. One Indian company preparing the stapler and foreign company also sell the stapler. So it will start competition. And who will get the benefit of this competition? The people get best product. So people get the benefit of competition. Next. Now we talk about disadvantages. The drawback is expected success. Expected success has not been attained to find out the solution of the problems of poverty and unemployment due to globalization. You go for globalization, but the problem of poverty and problem of unemployment is not solved because global company come to India to do the business. But because of that, everybody not get employment. Everybody will not get the income. So the issue of or the problem of poverty and the problem of unemployment remain as it is. Second drawback. Developing countries have not acquired proper benefit. Developing countries like India not acquired proper benefit of increase in export which they should have acquired. Developing country like India not get the benefit of increase in export. For example, India is a developing country, okay? So we not get the benefit of export. Globalization means what? You are buying the product of different countries and you are selling the products to different countries. But here what happened? Developing country will not get the benefit of exporting the product. Increase in export is not there. We are buying from other countries, but we are not able to increase our selling of other countries. So income decrease. That's a loss. In globalization, what we learn? Buying and selling, both the things has to be done. But we are to buying only. India is a developing country. We are to buying only. We must sell, but the selling is very less. So increase in export means selling to other countries. That is not increase. Third, large scale industries have acquired more benefit while small scale industries have obtained less benefit. Because of globalization, large scale industry, Reliance, Tata, acquired more benefit. But small scale industry, okay, cotton industry, local brands, okay, they obtain less benefit. So it is a loss of small scale industry, small units. And benefit for only large company. Their profit increase, small scale industries profit decrease. So it is disadvantages. Okay students, so this is what I have to discuss in today's lecture. In next lecture, we would like to talk about World Trade Organization WTO, which can ask an exam for 3 marks. You can able to write your opinion about the lecture, okay, and I will try my level best to fulfill your requirement. Till then, please take care of yourself, students. Thank you so much.